Hey, welcome back everyone. So in this video, we're going to go over a few Black Friday things that I found that are interesting. And Black Friday is a funny name to me anymore because when I was younger, Black Friday was one day and you tried to get into the store without getting trampled, get your junk, and get out without getting trampled. And it was usually some absurd time, like 5 or 4 in the morning, that you had to do this. And I don't know, it was a really crazy, fun time, honestly. But now we have a whole week of sales, so Black Friday is a funny name to me. But anyway, so these are things that I personally own that I think are actually a really good deal right now and that I use. And these are also things that I'm actually looking at buying. So I wouldn't share anything with you that I don't think is worth it, really. So let's just jump into it and start looking at a few things. And all these links will be in the comments below if you're interested. And let's just hit our first one. So our first one is by Stelk Voltix. This is the Nomad electric cook system. I actually have this. I did a review on it. The price is $249 normally. It's $175. That's a big savings. This system is really cool, I'll be honest with you. We've used it extensively. You have to have a good battery system to do it though. So we have 200 amp hours of lithium battery. We can get away for a short weekend on it, but we don't have solar. If you had solar and a robust battery system, then you can handle this no problem. It does work very, very well. We've even resorted to making lunches on this. So our kind of setup is like we like to go and like to go often and quick. And this is awesome. If you're going more than 2 days, you need a way to recharge your battery pack in order to run this. But if you are looking to go full electric and you have more battery power, this one is really cool. The system is pretty awesome. This one is just one that I found. This is a propane 2-burner stove. It's normally $140 and it's down to $65. This one caught my eye because of how compact it is, and it's got a pretty good burner, 17,000 BTUs total. That's pretty good. That's like 8.5, something like that. That's pretty good for most people, most stuff. More small families, you'd be okay with this. But this is not something I own, but this is something that I'm looking at getting for myself for a different setup because it's compact. I like that it's compact. It looks easy to set up. And for 65 bucks, it's hard to find a competitive stove for that price anymore. So take a look at this if you want something really compact that folds. It's kind of like a Jetboil, but without the price and all the other stuff. I would really take a look at this one. This would be on my list. The next one we're going to go to is by GSI. Now GSI makes some really good outdoor stuff. And I've seen these Pinnacle stoves before, and this is the Pinnacle Pro 2. And these are super cool because they're ultra low pro, they're really thin. It's normally $250, it's down to $199. This is going to be a propane stove, but this thing, I mean, it's so thin when it packs up. It's like razor thin for a camp stove. And the way I did some research on it, the way they designed it is just, it's super cool. Let's see if I can find some dimensions. That is clearly not wrong. That's clearly not right here, but it's like 1.5 inches tall, basically. That's pretty crazy. And then it does this unfold thing. We'll go down here a little bit so you can see. Let's see, where is it? Yeah, it like folds out into a full stove, even with windscreens and everything. But when it packs away, there you go. It's got this grill that kind of pops up to give you the space you need between the burners. And the burners are supposed to be high output dual burners. So that means you're gonna get a lot of BTUs out of this one. I think it's 20,000. Let me see at the top here. It'll tell us 11,000. So it's 11,000 per burner. That's really hot. You'd be able to cook pretty much anything on that. On top of it being 11,000, it's supposed to be GSI for actually quite a while. It's kind of unknown. They're lesser known for their stoves, but they have very good controls, turns out. So this is something that I absolutely am looking at for a completely different camp setup that we have because it's thin and it's propane and it has that fine control, which means you can simmer. We do a lot of simmer cooking and also a lot of searing, so our stoves have to be able to do both. So keep your eye out on this. If you're looking for a more of a suitcase style stove, this is something that you might be very interested in because it's got all of the power of a suitcase stove, but none of the space constraints because it's way, way, way slimmer. Now we're gonna go to Last Fit. Now Last Fit is pretty cool. They're having a 20% off site-wide sale using a coupon code here, and it looks like some items are 30% off. That's a pretty big sale. I will tell you that I actually, I had them send some LEDs to me for the Jeep. If you haven't seen that video, go take a look. And those things are bright. They're really kick butt. Those LEDs are awesome. They are, my old TJ with Toyota Land Cruiser housings and the bulbs from Last Fit are brighter than any of the vehicles I own. It's impressive, and they are very, very good quality. So I would really take a look if you're looking for any kind of LED bulbs. Definitely take a look at these guys with that 20% off sale, and I'll link it below because that is a pretty good saving if you're looking for some stuff, looking to upgrade the interior or exterior lighting, or in the case of a 4Runner, maybe the headlights or the reverse lights is what I'm thinking. Because if I can put more powerful LEDs in the reverse lights and see better at night, that is good for us. It'll also help that camera, right? The more light, the better when it comes to a camera. All right, next we're on to a few chairs. I picked the Clique because that is a pretty big saving for this chair. Normally $110 down to $79. That's actually a pretty good deal. We looked at these chairs extensively before we got the chairs we went to. The only reason we didn't buy the Clique when we were looking at chairs is because GSI has this really compact folding like studio style chair, or what is it called? Director style chair, that's what it is. The only reason we didn't go with it is because at the same time we were about to buy these, we also bought the 4Runner. And so we had extra space to get them. But if you don't, and we were still camping in the Jeep, these are the chairs we would absolutely buy. They're very cool in design. They're very quick to set up. They're very compact. I've heard they're very comfortable. I mean, just the way they store, they have this cool storage system that comes down where you don't have to take a bunch of pieces out to do it. They kind of click and fold, which is why their name is the Clique, and that's how compact they are right here. You can see that. But it's as simple as that. You push the button, you unfold the legs, you push the button, fold it back in, which kind of removes all of the problems with these style chairs that come in pieces where you got to put all the pieces together. We've always hated that when we're stopped for lunch or out camping or something, because it's one more task where you have to sit there for 5 minutes and push each chair together and stretch the fabric over. Sounds trivial, but when you're doing this for 2 weeks straight, that gets old real quick. And this one, you can press a button, unfold. Take a look at these if you're looking for chairs. These have, and they have really good reviews. This is a really high quality thing. 6,000 reviews, and they're at a 4-star rating. That's really high on Amazon. So definitely take a look at these. I know these are really good. The next one is really more if you just need a rocker style chair. $55 down from 75. I know a lot of people, a lot of my friends rock these GCI outdoor rockers because they have the space. They are very, very nice chairs, and they've had them for years, zero problems. If we had the space, if we ever move to a trailer, we will be getting some of these because they're very nice, very easy to set up, and being able to rock at the campfire, or if you have a young one, like we have a 1-year-old, being able to rock them in the chair, super awesome. So we might be picking up some of these later on. We just don't need them right now. 83,000 4.5-star reviews. These are really good chairs, and that's a pretty good price for chairs these days. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a few fridges. Now, I'm a little different when it comes to fridges. I'm kind of picky in particular. I want them to last a long time. I don't care too much about certain features. Like, I don't really care about Bluetooth monitoring and all that stuff, because to me, if the fridge works and I can trust it, then I don't have to think about it, and that's what I like. But price is also a factor too, right? So you're trying to get the best you can afford, and you're just trying to get the best that we can afford, right? So this fridge really caught my eye when I saw it go on sale, and if we had more of a trailer, I would absolutely go with this fridge. And in fact, in the future, when we do go to a trailer, I will buy this fridge whether it's on sale or not. This is the EF EcoFlow Glacier. It's a 40-quart fridge. We really like it, like the idea of it anyway, because it has the ability to make ice. And that sounds kind of dumb, and it sounds like a feature that you wouldn't want, but when you're perusing the deserts of California and you want to stop and set up camp and you want to have a drink, this is super awesome. Not just the ice feature though, EcoFlow, to be honest, this company, probably more than a lot of other companies, has really grown up in the past few years, and they really have their name stake on really high quality stuff. I haven't seen a single issue with any of their products, if I'm honest with you. And it's dual zone. It has everything that you want. And for $4.99, you're not getting an ARB for that. You're not getting a Dometic for that. You're not getting an Engel for that. And this is the closest thing. And I just know that EcoFlow, they're a very good company. So I would have zero problems buying this. And in fact, like I said, we will buy this when it comes to our off-road trailer. When we decide to get that, this is the route we will go, just because it has all the capability of a dual zone 40 liter, which is really what you want, but the ability to make ice. And for us, we don't need tons of fridge. We operate right now to a 36 liter drawer fridge. So having this in combination with that, that'd be perfect. But if you're only gonna get one, I don't necessarily recommend going to the drawer fridge if you have the space, because these are actually better and they store things a little nicer. We have one more fridge, I think, or two more fridges actually. The other one is the Iceco. If you're someone that has a bigger family or you go further and you do need the bigger dual zone, Iceco, they're kind of an off-brand, but they're a very good off-brand. They've had some issues in the past, but I haven't seen any issues with any of their newer stuff, and they have been around for a while, so I do trust them. I know like Kick-Ass is another brand. They have basically their own version of this, but that company's going out of business. So I try to stay away from companies that do that, that are here today, gone tomorrow type of thing. Not because they don't have a good product, but if I need parts or support, I'm not going to get it. And Iceco has been around for a while, so I wouldn't have an issue with them. And at 636 for a 60-liter dual zone, that's really hard to pass up if you need that. So take a look at that. They're pretty cool. And this one has, I don't know, some reviews, 1,500 reviews, 4.5 stars basically. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. And there's smaller models, but if you're going with the 40-liter, go with the EcoFlow definitely. That's a better deal than this one is at 419. The EcoFlow is a much better fridge at that price. But this one, need a big one? This is pretty good. Now the next fridge here is by Philips. I've heard pretty good things about them. They only have 124 reviews, so your mileage may vary, but at $284, it's really cheap. Really, really cheap. Really cheap compressor fridges. And it's Philips, so it's probably going to be good. A lot of the fridges use the same style compressor now and the same style components. They're just slapping different bodies on the outside. And Philips is probably going to be around for a long time doing this. So if you have a problem, you'll be able to get support. And at 284 bucks, it's really not that expensive. You get a fridge, they're going to last for a while. You're going to be fine until you decide to upgrade. And I threw that one in there in case you're looking for a budget option. All right, now a lot of people like PowerStop. This is specific to the 4Runner crowd. The PowerStop brake full kit is $100 off basically, actually more. The normal price is $476 per Amazon. Black Friday deal $359. That's a pretty good deal for a complete brake kit. We're talking rotors, brake pads, the whole thing, and that's a pretty good deal considering if you try to replace the factory rotors on the 4Runners, they are not cheap. So this is good, and I've heard very good things about their drill and slotted rotors. If you do a lot of off-roading, maybe you don't want the drill and slotted rotors. I'm not a fan of them for off-roading specifically. You get a lot of mud and junk built up in there, and if you get like rocks in the drill holes, and it can cause issue with the pads. I know a lot of people have them and have never had issues. I'm not a fan of them for off-road, but if you don't go off-road or you just do normal trails, you're just kind of hunting around, you know, the woods or the desert, not doing a big deal. This would be great for you, especially if you're towing. Probably help a lot if you're towing and doing that kind of thing. But yeah, if you're interested in PowerStop brakes, here they are, $100 off. That's a pretty good deal on Amazon. Okay, so the next few things are just kind of stuff that I found. So again, for the 4Runner, this is the center console armrest. We really like ours. This is $5 off, not a ton. But if you like to cover your armrest where your forearm sits when you get in the center console in the 4Runner, these are awesome. We've had ours for a few years now. Great, no issues. It actually adds a layer of comfort to it, a layer of hominess inside. It's kind of funny because it's like quilted and padded type style, but it also protects that console. And since we have a 1-year-old and we have a dog that likes to jump around in the car, it's nice protecting that leather top on the 4Runner, and then it also gives you a little more cushion for the longer rides, which is pretty nice. And the baby likes it. He likes to stand on the console, so it's, you know, any way we can protect that, but also allow him to have fun, because I'm not someone who's going to stop my kid from having fun in my car just because he stands on the center console. He's 1. He doesn't know any better. The next thing that we really like, though, is the gear shift organizer tray. I've done a video on this as well. This thing goes, this is for 4Runners again, this goes right above where the 4-wheel drive selector is, but in between the dash. This is awesome. We use it all the time, every day, promise you. There's always pins or phones or charging wires, flashlights. It's awesome for flashlights. We use that. That's where flashlights go when we're out exploring. It's a convenient place. We always know they're there. It has spots for like basically chapstick and stuff, which you always need when you're out exploring. It's fantastic. And my wife is very, she's on the height challenge side. And with her seat all the way forward, it just barely touches these things. It's been fine. They've not cracked, not messed up. We live in extreme heat and we go to extreme cold. They're still on there. It's been great. Can't say enough about it. They're an awesome add-on for storage space inside the 4Runner. All right, wool blankets. Some of you don't like them, but let me tell you, when you're camping in colder weather, there is nothing like a nice wool blanket, and wool is not what it used to be. Wool blankets keep you really warm. They're not as scratchy as they used to be, like the military ones. You can put them between layers, which is what we like to do. So we put sheets, then a wool blanket, then a comforter on top when it's cold, and we stay nice and cozy. And I'm not talking about a big, thick comforter. We just keep stuff thin. Since we're using a swag, everything rolls up in it. Everything's got to be compact and fit right. And We do. We use these right here, and they work very, very well. Wool is an amazing layer if you can get it in there and use it. But if you don't like the scratchiness, put a sheet between you and it, and you'll be perfect. It's really good. And this, they're normally 90 bucks, but this is $54, and you get a 20% off coupon on top of that. I would pick up a few of these. In fact, we might pick up a few of these and have them in each one of the cars, just in case, you know, something happens, but also for camping and different camp setups. These are great. And you can color, looks like they have colors maybe. So, you know, honestly, if it was me, I'd probably choose something like this, or maybe the orange. The orange looks kind of cool. And whoa, the red, how much is the red, white, and blue? Oh, I would probably pay extra for the red, white, and blue one because that one's pretty cool. But you know, they just have the standard one if you want cheaper. I see no issue with that. That's probably, honestly, I would do that. I would go with the cheaper one or the red, white, and blue one just because I think it's cool. The orange is also neat. One thing I'll say about gear, I'm moving away from everything being black. I kind of hate it because when everything is black, you can't find anything. It's all black, it's all gone. That's kind of our like, that's our thing now. When gear's black, it's gone. So we're trying to move away from gear being black and move into colors that make sense. I'd probably go for the orange one. That way, if like a flashlight falls or something, you'd actually see where it is. Because like, unfortunately, a lot of our stuff is black. Our new flashlights from Olight are orange though. And yeah, I'd probably do that. Okay, Nature Hike. So Nature Hike makes a lot of cool stuff. This is a collapsible water bin. We use this on our 1,500-mile road trip to Northern California. Amazing. Amazing because it's not round and it's not that awkward square basin that people have, the like half plastic accordion one. Those suck because they don't fold flat. This thing folds really, really nice, very thin. We have a drawer in the back of our 4Runner. If you haven't seen it, go take a look at the video. But basically the drawer in the back of our 4Runner is rectangle. This is awesome because it's at a size where you fold it up and you can stuff it in that drawer, and it's great. It takes up barely any space, don't even know it's there, but when you open it, it's quite sizable. And we actually got this exact size. I think they have one more that's a little bigger. We bathed our, like, at the time, I think 6-month-old in it. Is awesome. Awesome for dishes, awesome for, like, we keep water in it just to wash your hands to help minimize how much water we're using when we're camping, because we always don't camp near streams. Or if you do camp near streams, you can use it to carry water. They're really cool. They fold really well, very durable. We like it. Stays in the 4Runner full time. It's an awesome thing, and it's only $9 right now. It'd be hard to pass that up. Really, it would. Okay, the last thing on the list is the Radio Oddity DB20G GMRS mobile radio. These things are awesome. I love them. I have one in my Jeep. I have one in my parents' Jeep. I'm about to put one in my brother's Jeep. The 4Runner is going to get one, and my truck will have one. They're amazing radios. They're great. They function well. They have tons of features, but you can also turn off all the features if they're too complicated, which is why I got it for my parents, so you can lock them and dumb them down, if you will. That way they're easy to use. Sometimes off-road you just need easy to use. But for those of us like me who like to tinker, they're as complicated as you wanted to make it. Forewarning, there is a way to select different frequency programming for it, so you can unlock it as it were, but it's not necessarily legal for that. So do your own research in accordance with the laws where you live and figure out if that's something you can or are willing to do. But for a GMRS radio, it's awesome. If you want to play around with listening to different things and unlock it, you absolutely can. And the features grow even further when you do unlock it. And it's very, very cool. Very nice radio. There's a lot of support for it. It listens and talks extremely well, and it's tiny. It's like very little. It's about the size of a Midland 275 actually, except you get a full color screen and way more features, way more features. I pulled out all the 275s, all the Midland MXT 275s out of all my rigs because this is a way better radio all the way around. And it kind of sucks. Those 275s are awesome, but they're all narrowband. And that sucks when you talk to everyone who else has wideband now. And this can do everything and so much more. And you, like I said, you can limit it and make it a lot easier to use. If you just want a very simple radio, you can program it and turn it into that. You actually don't need programming to do everything on it. It's just easier if you do. You do need a Windows machine to program it, though. Chirp doesn't currently have, as of this video anyway, it's not Chirp compatible. So yeah, but great radio, absolutely love it. It's awesome. All right, so that's the complete list of Black Friday things that I found. Now remember, these are things that either I own and have owned and used for a long time, and that's why I'm recommending them to you, or they're things that I'm looking at buying. I would never recommend something to you guys that I would not buy myself or I have not owned myself. And some of the things were sent to me, but if those things were junk, I would tell you they're junk and I would not be using them. And all the stuff in this list that I own, I am using. The other stuff that I'm recommending, I'm looking at buying for future builds in different camp setups. So just remember that when you're looking through this list. That's why it's kind of randomized, because these are just good deals that I found. But also, if you're someone who maybe is having a harder time this holiday season, just don't buy this stuff. It'll come around again. The sales will come around. It'll always be there. Better stuff will be there in the future. If you don't have to have it right now or you don't want it right now, no. If you don't have the money for this stuff right now, just don't buy it. It's not a big deal. It'll be around in the future. Better stuff will come. You're not missing out. But if you are looking for this stuff, it is a good time to buy because you're getting a discount versus earlier in the year. With that, guys, thank you for watching. Really appreciate it. Let me know how you liked the video. Hit the comments below. Links are in the description. And, well, hopefully we'll see you in the next video. Oh, I hear my little boy. Time to go. Bye, guys.